Welcome back to the channel. Vocal is one of the key elements in soul music, but even without a great talent for singing, you can make soul samples with your own voice like this. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make this sample 100 from scratch, step by step. I'll cover how to make vocal melodies, add backup vocals, stack harmonies, and my vocal processing. First, we need simple loop to start with. I personally put piano, drums, and bass first, and then add vocals later. I'll use my free soul MIDI file to quickly make a loop. Let's put piano and drums first. Since we got drums and piano, you can give it a more authentic song-like feeling by matching the beats of drums and piano. Especially when the kick hits, that's where we want our piano chords to hit. When it comes to bass, I think it doesn't have to be crazy complicated. I need simple bass line just following the root notes of piano chords. And if you wanna add something more to it, I recommend add fifth note of the chords. The fifth note is a note which is 7 semitones above the root note. For example, if you're playing C major chord, your root note is C and your fifth note is 7 semitones above C, so your fifth note of C major chord will be G. Let's listen to this loop. Since we got a great foundation, it's time to put some vocals. You can start by building up your chorus vocals or your main vocals, any way it feels right to you. I usually start humming to get the melody I want. And if you completely have no idea how to make your own melody, you can use your VST and MIDI keyboard to find out. Since I'm not a great singer and don't have a perfect pitch, VST can do a lot for me. You can find your melody by pressing your MIDI keyboard and singing the note. Na 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 na. Whoa. By repeating this process, you can end up discovering where your vocal sweet spot is. My vocal works great between about A2 and E3. If it's over G3, it's getting a bit hard for me to control and make a sound. Whoa. Woo. Now, let's add some backup vocals to support the main melody. When recording backup vocals, I tend to keep the microphone away than when recording the main vocal. Backup vocals don't have to be that upfront, but to sit back and fill up the space behind the main melody. Plus, I wanna record them with a much smoother tone than a main vocal. Na, 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 na. Now we got backup vocals, it's time to stack harmonies. This is where I need VST and my MIDI keyboard the most. If you already got the melody of your backup vocals, you want to make it down 2 steps in your key to get the foundation of your lower harmony. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's say your melody of backup vocals is C, D, E in A minor key, which plays only white keys. In this case, the melody of your lower harmony would be A, B, and C. Because in A minor key, the A note is 2 steps lower than C. With same method, the B note is 2 steps lower than D. I make foundation of harmony like this. You can do the same process when making upper harmony. With upper harmony, it sounds like this. With lower harmony, it sounds like this. And the reason I said foundation, this method doesn't work the absolute best every single time. Sometimes it sounds better when you lower or upper your harmony 3 steps or even more. It depends on the current chord, the context of the song, and your taste. So I recommend start with this foundation, adjust the details later while listening to the notes with your VST. This is why I use VST to get the idea. It's so much effective, accurate, and intuitive when you're not a perfect singer like me. Feel free to add more ad-libs to it, but I just want to leave it this way so that it can have enough space for producers to do something with the sample. If your instruments are playing like crazy, you want to make simple vocal melody and vice versa. Since we're done recording vocals, let's sort all this stuff out. I prefer to work on individual tracks of instruments first and then on vocals. When it comes to mixing, you want to use high shelf or low pass filter to reduce high frequency information to get warm and vintage sound. If needed, you can boost mid-lows to get even more. Putting a tape emulation plugin first before I put any other plugins on individual tracks works great for me. This is UAD oxide tape recorder. What I care the most here is to make it not to exceed 0 decibel on this VU meter by tweaking this input knob, since we don't want crazy, distorted, overdriven sound, but only the tape saturation. I like to work on the main vocal first. This plugin chain, the purpose of these will be 1. Add tape saturation, 2. Control the dynamics with compressor, 3. Get the tone with EQ, and 4. Add harmonics and saturation even more with preamp and saturation plugin. So we already talked about this tape emulation plugin. My main goal here is to set the right amount of input. Next, let's even out the dynamics. We don't want too much compression on this because we still need some live filling. The purpose of compression here is to attenuate some crazy picks and make small vocals a bit louder. When I handle about breath control, especially the sound which is recorded when you breathe in while singing, I prefer to handle it manually. You can use noise gate plugins to reduce this breath sound, but sometimes they attenuate small vocals too, which we don't want to happen. And I don't want to completely remove them because they still give me that live feeling. With EQ, you want to use high shelf filter to smoothly attenuate the high end. I use Decimal 2 to reduce high end information, which is above 15 or 16 kHz. And here I put high pass filter to reduce low end information. And lastly, I put preamp and saturation plugin to get even more saturation and warmth. Let's hear before and after. Na 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 na. You can put same plugin chain on backup vocal tracks, but there are some differences from main vocal. More aggressive compression can even out the sound and at the same time kill the liveness of them. Smaller dynamics of vocals sound less live and more distant, which we want in our backup vocals. And I set high pass filter a bit higher than main vocal to make backup vocals sound even further. Less information in low frequency makes sounds further away. Na 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 na. Lastly, you want to use panning to get the feeling of space and lightness and make them not to fight each other for a similar frequency. And before I bounce all of these with individual stems, I use demo bouncing. Since bouncing the whole project with individual stems takes pretty long, for my computer it takes more than 20 minutes, I started to demo bounce only the song part. This way I can check the volume balance and entire sound when it's pitched up and in higher tempo with higher efficiency. And I can make quick adjustments and save time than bouncing the whole project with stems in the first place. Now let's listen to the final result. for watching this video. Hope you like it, and don't forget to grab your free MIDI files down below. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.